constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball.
Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win. Now the 2-1.
Line drive to the base hit. Just as the score of the tying run. Green to the plate. And he is safe. Safe at the plate. The Braves go to the World Series.
Have reserved seats somewhere along one of the baselines that sat when they were children and cheered their heroes.
Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable!
A 3-run home run for Bucky Dent. The Yankees now lead by a score of 3-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mazeroski has hit a 1-0 pitch over the left field fence at Ford Field to win the 1960 World Series.
They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children, longing for the past.
The Pope arrived at Yankee Stadium. As one enthusiastic announcer put it, he is standing on second base.
Reggie Jackson. Long drive right field. It is goodbye. Big World Series for Reggie Jackson. The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run.
Back and throw. There's a left back. It's going to be, I believe, the Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant.
The 0-1 pitch. A liner off Nagy's glove into center field. The Florida Marlins have won the World Series.
The memories will be so thick that I can brush them in their faces.
The 1-0 delivery to Fisk. He swings, long drive, left field. If it stays fair, it's gone. Home run. The Red Sox win. And the series is...
Lolich fires, ball is hit high in the air. This should be the series. Freehand waving everybody away in foul territory. Detroit wins.
Here's the pitch to Willie. There's a liner straight to Richardson. The ball game is over and the World Series is over. Willie McCovey hit it like a bullet. A line drive right.
Baseball to mark the time.
The Oakland A's take. I'll tell you what, we're having an earthquake.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Candlestick Park for Game 3 of the 1989 World Series.
It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again.
Frank Robinson, the right-hand batter.
Long drive to left field. Way back. It's hit back.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Pena in a chance. The Twins are going to win the World Series. The Twins have won it.
Ozzie with 1 out. Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run. And the
Willie Mays just brought this crowd to its feet with a catch, which must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people.
This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again.
Broadcasted live.
Who wants to have some fun?
There are balls coming from all over the place. Left field, center field, right field. See, this is the kind of thing, quite honestly, right now, that makes you want to see the Chicago Cubs team lose.
Now, you just saying you want to have fun, or do you really want to have fun?
It'll be fun.
Will the next person that sees anybody throw anything onto this field, point them out, or get them out of here? You don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
That is the farthest thing in the universe from the truth.
Hello, everyone, live. It's the Dan Scott Show. And right there is your host, Dan Scott.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Monday,
It is the 16th day of December. It is overcast, but not too bad as far as the temperature is concerned here in the upstate of South Carolina. Unlike some other parts of the country where a winter storm is already or going to be wreaking havoc, it's actually heading in this direction, but early forecast that I saw says that we may be fortunate and not get much, if any, of that. Let's hope so. We're going to have some rain as the week goes on. But I'm not a weatherman. I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. That's just what I saw on the extended forecast. How is your day going? How was your weekend? I hope that everything is going well. If you are new to the program, we have a kind of a goal here. If your day's going well, we don't want to do anything to mess it up. If it's not, maybe we can provide you with a little bit of a lift. And by the time it's all said and done, we hope to learn something that we did not know. And I always say that it's much easier for some of us than it is for others. On the show today, we're going to be recapping the great night downtown and the first of the weekend at the Well basketball games on Saturday night. Furman's 80-73 win over the Winthrop Eagles, and everything that went into that. The atmosphere was fantastic. It had a big-time atmosphere to it, and the lights were a little brighter. The sound was a little crisper, and the competition between the teams was fantastic. And it was really interesting to hear Bob Richey talk, and we're going to play his post-game press conference he did with the general media, which when I listen to this, it'll actually be the first time I've heard it. But he talked to us twice on the broadcast, on the TV portion immediately when it was done, and then a more of an extended on the radio as he normally does for home games. And the tenor was basically this. He gets really excited when people tell him he can't do something, or when people tell him that Furman's basketball program can't do something. And he looked at the aftermath of the win and said, how about this? Something else that supposedly we couldn't do, little old Furman, and look at what we've done here. And this is just the beginning. I was really impressed with the way everything came off. Little hiccups, to be sure, but something that will be able to smooth out, and everything will get a little bit better as we move forward. And we've got two fantastic games remaining in the conference. UNCG is up next on January the 11th, and you know that they took North Carolina State to the wire this weekend, losing by 3 at home to the Wolfpack, a home being Greensboro Coliseum. And then, of course, in February, it's the matchup with Wofford at the Well. And the demise of Wofford may have been somewhat prematurely stated because you saw they knocked off North Carolina on Saturday. Now, North Carolina was playing without a couple of its starters, but nevertheless, North Carolina or Wofford beat North Carolina and kind of fired a little bit of a shot across the bow of this conference, if you will. So, and that game was, I think, yesterday and not on Saturday. But the bottom line is that we've got two great games at the Well still to go. And on that January the 11th, it'll also include Jackie Carson's women's team, which is picked first in the Southern Conference this year. They'll play Samford in the afternoon, and Furman and UNCG will play in the evening. And then the February game is Furman and Wofford to close it out for this season. But we'll talk a little bit more about it when we come back after our first break and talk about the game itself as well, because I in all of the hoopla surrounding the event, don't want the importance of that win to go unnoticed. So we'll get into all of that, and coming up in a little bit, you'll hear from Bob Richey himself in his post-game press conference on Saturday night downtown. Outside of that, we'll take a look at what's next for this basketball program, and then kind of look ahead as to what the broadcast schedule is going to be like as far as this show is concerned moving toward the first of the year. So we'll do all that as we get rolling here on the program. We'll take our first break. We'll come back and talk more about the weekend at the Well, talk more about the win over Winthrop. When we return, the show is brought to you by Carolina Creative. Not just simple, but simply brilliant. Please tell Randy and the folks there that you heard about him here on the show. You are going to hear about them more right now, as a matter of fact. We'll be back in a moment. Hey, everybody, Dan Scott here, and I want to tell you about my technology partner, Carolina Creative Group. When my show needed a creative technology boost, I turned to Carolina Creative Group. My custom design website is going to take marketing as well as brand strategy and development to new levels. The search engine optimization means that my clients' ads will be seen by more people more often. And if I have any questions, Carolina Creative Group is just a phone call away. Friends, that is just the tip of the proverbial iceberg. You can find out all the ways that Carolina Creative Group can help your business by simply calling 864-250-2012. Again, that's 864-250-2012, or simply visit them online at carolinacreative.co. Carolina Creative Group, technology partner of the Dan Scott Show.
Imagine a university. A university where your passion for protecting local water sources is encouraged. And now, your work not only benefits your career, but the health of those in your community and around the world. This is Furman. This is the Furman Advantage.
If you're looking for auto repair, you want superior work, not inferior parts and worse, inferior pricing. Hi, this is Dan Scott. I take all of my business to Superior Auto Care. That's Chris Burkett at 410 Ross Avenue in Easley. He brought my wife's car back from the dead. There's no other way to say it. For 4 months, it had been sitting with a major transmission issue. Chris was able to diagnose it along with some other problems and get it back and running again. Mrs. Scott is happy, and guys, you know how it is. Happy wife, happy life, right? Well, he can do it all for you, from the simple things like oil changes, brake service, air conditioning service, tires, to major engine and transmission work, even electrical work. Works on domestic cars as well as foreign cars. Again, they're located at 410 Ross Avenue. That's Superior Auto Care. Give them a call today at 864-306-1988. Superior Auto Care in Easley.
Let me tell you something, Cowboy. This rookie can really bring the heat.
He's smoky and spicy with a Chipotle style all his own.
It's a new Montgomery Inn Chipotle barbecue sauce. Make it a part of your home team.
Available now at your neighborhood grocer or online at CincyFavorites.com.
Forward to seeing where we go as far as this one is concerned today. We'll have Bob Richey's postgame press conference after the win over Winthrop coming up in the next segment, and we'll close out the show with kind of a look ahead as to what is coming up next. Just some thoughts about the whole atmosphere and everything that went into Saturday. The lower bowl, the way it's set up, I understand, is with 9,000 seats in it, and they had the top curtained off, so they wanted to make it as intimate as possible. And when you look on both sides of the floor, the middle three sections that basically spanned the 94 feet of the playing area were pretty much full on both sides. And then there were some scattered folks in other areas. But it was a very, very nice crowd, which I think is going to get even better, but I think everyone was pleased with what we saw on this first attempt at this. And Bob Richey told me in the radio pregame that, they have developed a nice home court advantage at Timmins now, which I can promise you has taken a lot of work. When I first got here 9 seasons ago, the basketball attendance, the basketball atmosphere, there was no atmosphere. It was total apathy. And that's being as kind but as honest as I can be. And so what you've had to overcome during that time, starting with Niko Medved in his 4 years, and now Bob Richey in his third here, and so we'll call this 7 years now, or in the 7th year of kind of regenerating this thing. It's not perfect yet by any stretch of the imagination, as Jason Donnelly is finding out, our new AD. But yeah, there is a home court advantage when we get people in there and the students are there doing their thing, and that's something that's been worked hard they've worked hard to make happen and kind of reverse the way things were going. So the question was, well, from some people, you've got this really nice home court atmosphere and advantage now at Timmins. Why do you want to go downtown into a much bigger arena where there's not going to be any energy? And Bob Richey's response to that was, hey, we got to create energy. And they did. They did it by the way they played. The crowd responded. It was great to have the band there. It had that kind of atmosphere to it that you would hope you would get when playing in that kind of an arena. And I'm telling you, folks, it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. And I'm not just talking about with the 2 games remaining this season. I'm talking about what is going to take place in the future as this thing grows for next season and subsequent seasons moving forward. It's going to be something that I believe people are going to look back on and say, man, what a stroke of genius it was to do that. And to help take Furman basketball to another level, to become eventually a quote-unquote power mid-major basketball program. I think that's going to be part of the process, looking beyond, just looking beyond and having the foresight to think outside of the proverbial box, so to speak, and say, what can you do to make this bigger? And I think even just one game in, I think you've gotten a glimpse of what it can be. I expect these next 2 games to grow. We'll get more and more comfortable with playing games downtown, and then starting next season, I think you're going to see this thing really, really take off. But for game 1, bravo, well done. The atmosphere was fantastic. As I said, there were some little hiccups here and there, production-wise on the TV broadcast especially, but we'll get that straightened out, I'm sure. And bottom line is, you got the kind of atmosphere you wanted, and more importantly, you got the kind of performance that you wanted in the 80-73 win. Furman finishes a non-conference season at 10-3, and I'm not sure a lot of people would have given them a whole lot of chance to win 10 games in the non-conference, but they did, and they did it with Jordan Lyons kind of breaking out of his shooting slump in the first half, getting things rolling from downtown. He finishes with a game-high 26 points. Clay Mounts just continues to be solid, as does Noah Gurley, 17 and 15 respectively. Alex Hunter had 8 points all in the second half. And again, guy plays 30 minutes at the point guard spot and did not turn the basketball over. It's just incredible how well Alex Hunter takes care of the basketball. Speaking of Noah Gurley, he hit his hand, I believe, on the bottom of the backboard at one juncture in the second half, and severely dislocated his finger. I mean, his hand is going one direction and his finger is going in the other. It was ugly to look at. He immediately goes back into the tunnel with trainer Justin Games, and we had Noah on the post game because he came back with his fingers taped together and played well the rest of the second half. And obviously Justin was able to pop that baby back into place. And I asked Noah, I said, did he give you the 1, 2, 3 to brace you for it, or how did he do it? He said, nope. He said, just look at me and squeeze my hand with your other hand as hard as you can. And one good jerk, apparently, and that finger popped back into place. It's going to be sore for him, but he, with it taped together, he still played well the rest of the way, and turned what could have been something that may have been serious into a bit of a light moment when it was all said and done. I bet that baby swelled up on him when the game was over, though. But anyway, jumped out to a 19-point lead, and really were never threatened. There was the crazy stretch down the end of the game when they were just throwing up 3 after 3 after 3, and the closest they were able to get was 9 points until the bucket at the end that got it to the final margin at 7. You never got the feeling that Furman's lead was going to totally evaporate. Sometimes when you've got a lead like that and a team starts to make a run, you can just feel it that, we may be in some trouble here. You never got that feeling, at least I didn't, as far as the Paladins were concerned. And they were able to keep them at arm's distance and get the win. So 10-3 after the victory to close out the non-conference portion of the schedule. First time they've beaten Winthrop since 1988, and ironically, that game was across the street at the Memorial Auditorium, the old brown box. I don't know if you saw if you watched the telecast, we had some pictures of the old auditorium that we featured during that as kind of a nod to playing downtown. And before the auditorium, you recall, it was the Textile Hall, which is over off Washington Street and close to where St. Mary's Catholic Church is now. Well, we also were able to get some video of Frank Selby's 100-point game from Textile Hall against Newberry back in the mid-'50s. So we were able to, on the TV broadcast, pay a little bit of homage to returning to Furman's basketball roots downtown, and downtown embraced this Furman basketball team. Get a chance to do it again on January the 11th when the Paladins host UNCG, and that will come after the women play Samford on that day. Next up, though, is a road game, 2 road games, in fact, to begin conference season at Mercer this Friday, and then they don't play again until New Year's Day at VMI. When we come back, we'll hear from Bob Richey, his post-game thoughts, let you hear that, and continue with more on this Monday edition of the program, The Dan Scott Show. Will return in just a moment. Dan Scott here for Todaro Pizza. Some of you may remember my old radio show in Clemson. Todaro Pizza was a sponsor of mine from the earliest days of the show. And if you know anything about me when it comes to advertising restaurants, if I don't like the food, I ain't going to tell you to go there. I love Todaro Pizza, and now Clemson's Best Pizza has finally come to Greenville. Yes, the new Todaro location is located at 116 North Markley Street, right down the block from Fluor Field. Classic, specialty and stuffed pizzas, calzones, wings, and so much more. The No Limit Lunch Buffet is available 7 days a week for just $8. Monday night is cheap pizza night, and you can try your hand at trivia every Thursday. Todaro Pizza has outdoor dining on Markley. It's open late, making it a convenient stop before or after the drive games. Find them on Facebook or online at TodaroPizza.com. Todaro Pizza, 864-603-3500.
For a child battling a critical illness, a wish come true can be a turning point. One song, one dance, one game, one moment changes everything. Make-A-Wish needs your support to grant more life-changing wishes. Visit Make-A-Wish online now. Together, we can transform lives, one wish at a time.
Dan Scott here for the Atlanta Bread Company. What do I like about Atlanta Bread? Well, too much to mention in a short commercial, but here are a few things. Bread baked daily fresh on site, a tremendous selection of soup, sandwiches, and salads, seasonal special additions to the menu, delicious hot coffee, and a bevy of other drink options. And yeah, can't forget about the baked sweet goodies. Dine in or carry out, and when you have the Atlanta Bread Company app, you can order and pay online, then breeze past the lines to the pickup counter to get your food. Experience it for yourself. That's the Atlanta Bread Company, Cherrydale Point in Greenville. If you're looking for a unique dining experience in the Clemson area, let me suggest Four Paws American Pub, where they have specials like Carolina popcorn, a freshly battered fried okra, which is the hottest selling appetizer and side item in the upstate, or the Bulldozer, the signature burger featuring a fried green tomato, Four Paws pimento cheese and bacon with a smoky house aioli, or you can build your own burger or a fresh green salad from a large selection of toppings. And they also have the teriyaki salmon pan-seared over rice or a bed of green salad. Enjoy terrific food at Four Paws American Pub in Clemson. You can enjoy local recipes while watching games on the TVs or relaxing with your pup on the dog-friendly patio. Come to Four Paws, located on Highway 93 in front of the Courtyard Marriott, or call 654-5151 to order for carry-out and tailgating. You need to make tracks to Four Paws American Pub. (10:23) as we continue on this Monday. Good to have you with us as always. After the game, Bob Richey, we got a chance to talk to him twice. For those of you who don't know, and if you listen to the radio broadcast of home basketball games and it sounds markedly different than any other broadcast that we do, it's because we're simulcasting what we're doing on the television broadcast on the radio for home basketball games. So it's got a whole different flair. And in fact, our flagship station, Fox Sports 1440, has to love the fact that we're saying ESPN this and ESPN that, but that's they also don't think twice about cashing the check either. So that's I guess part of the deal. But so we get a chance to talk with Bob Richey very quickly after the games are over on the TV, and then he comes back and does more extended radio-wise. Well, he also goes and talks to the media at large. And this is what we're going to play for you now. His post-game press conference at Bon Secours Wellness Arena after the 80-73 win over Winthrop on Saturday night. Here's head coach Bob Richey.
All right. Man, take a deep breath. That was fun. First of all, just big thanks to our university, our AD, Jason Donnelly, our president, Elizabeth Davis, and our entire athletic department, our student body. Our message has always been it's going to take everybody. And I think we started to see, the things that we've said in the past 2.5 years, that this is what it can be and this is what we can build. I think we got some people's attention tonight, and I think we got the city's attention in terms of, hey, let's go out there and see what this can be. And then they walked in here and they saw this purple and they felt the energy, and our players felt it. And I think anybody that came tonight has to be walking away saying, hey, that's a connected group that plays really hard, and that's something we can get behind. And I think this is the start. I think that we've got a great deal at Timmons Arena. We have a great atmosphere there, but at the same time, this gives a whole another realm. And if we can produce that energy, and that's the start, where can this go? And that's how I think. That's how my AD thinks. And I just want to make sure everybody understands that we appreciate the support. We appreciate everybody coming out, and we appreciate everybody getting behind us. The game in itself, I thought it was a high-level game. That was fun. It was blow for blow there for a little while, and I think it got knotted up at 26. We were making some big shots. They were making some big shots, and then they were getting us in transition, and we tightened that up a little bit and tried to get the game more in the half court. And then we did a great job on the glass. I would say for about 33 minutes tonight, we did a pretty good job on the glass for us. And it really fell there late. They were crashing, and obviously they were shooting long threes and getting long rebounds. But we were able to get stops and then get rebounds. And I thought when the game extended was when we got out in transition. And then all of a sudden we were able to run, and then we pushed the margin to 13. I thought that was key, but then we came out in the second half and pushed it a little bit more. So proud of a lot of our guys. I think everybody contributed tonight. Jordan with the big-time first half, but then continued to play and flow. Clay Mounts, I don't know what he had. Clay 17, 9, and 7, okay, nearing triple-double status. And then obviously Noah 15 and 9. And so a lot of guys did a lot of great things. Trey Clark, you might not necessarily see a lot on the stats, but what he did defensively was incredible, and he really changed the game with his defense, and he did a great job for us there. Alex Hunter, I thought he managed the game really, really well, and so everybody played a part. That's what we wanted to do, and great to be at 10 wins. Great to come downtown and get a win like that. Proud of our group.
You assured everyone that Jordan's shot was coming, and that first half on a stage like this, for him to come alive in the first half like that was had to be fun for you to see.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Jordan's a shooter. That's what he does. And I've been telling him, hey, focus on the routine. Don't worry about the result. Just keep focusing on your routine. Keep getting good reps. We came in here Thursday. I don't know if he missed. It was like, he was working hard. He was sweating. He was shooting game-like shots. And he was just, he had to be 85%. He was just hitting everything. And so I had a feeling, I told the coaches in the locker room before the game, I said, he's got the look, and I've been around him long enough. I've known Jordan, now 6 years almost, it seems like. But he had the look, and when he gets that look, man, he can score with anybody. And was proud because I thought he did it in rhythm. I thought he did it in flow. And I didn't think he really had to go outside the offense. He just trusted the ball was moving, and once we got that ball side to side and we were cutting, we were getting some great looks, and was glad, obviously, to see it go in.
Obviously, having the big lead late is helpful in this regard, but what was the key to help you kind of weather the storm there when you weren't able to get a field goal over the last 4:20 or so?
Yeah, the game got a little choppy, and they obviously had to start driving quick, and they had to start shooting a bunch of threes, and then they started pressing. And so, when you take long shots, you're going to have long rebounds. And I thought when they shot it, we were going into the paint, and then the ball was coming out over us. And, in those situations, you've got to make sure that you get out of the paint and you check, and then you go pursue the ball. I think if we could have gotten some of those rebounds, then all of a sudden they're not getting in the press, right? And we're in transition, and maybe we get some cleaner looks. And then at that point, you got to play the numbers. Even though they were making some things happen, because we had the margin like we had it, I still thought the clock was our best friend. And so with about 3 minutes to go, it's, hey, uncontested layups. That's it. Okay, everything else we're going to pull out, and we're going to let this clock go. And sometimes, what happens, I don't like doing that. It's not my personality, because sometimes you're waiting to see the one shot you can get late, and that scares you. But I thought it was just too big of a margin, and I wanted to make sure that we were draining some clock. And but they did a good job. They kept playing, they kept shooting, and they hit 8 threes tonight. But fortunately, they only hit 3 of 18 in the second half, and so that was big. That was big for us. We thought we had to do a better job in the second half on the 3-point line, and fortunately, we did.
To that point, you talk about this team. I think they hit more threes than anyone in the nation last year. It seemed like you guys attacked all night defensively. Just talk about, and I saw a few wrinkles, the 1-3-1 and some of the traffic stuff. Just talk about this game, and do you think this is probably how you saw the game playing out defensively?
I don't know what we got up at that point. We got up by 19 with 8 to go. I didn't necessarily envision us being up 19 just because of how good Winthrop is. People are going to look at their record. They've lost 4 games by 4 points or less. Okay, they played Duke nose to nose for about 25 minutes and lost by 10. And they went to St. Mary's and won. And so, Coastal, they're up 17 in the second half, and they let a lead slip, and that was a tough game there. But these guys are good, and we knew we had to do a great job on Burns, and man, did we! Wow, our guys fought, and our whole deal is connection. We're not going to be able to guard you one-on-one, but, man, we can guard you with 5 when we're locked in. And I thought we did a great job taking them out of the game. And then from there, we were going to try that. We knew they were going to test us off the bounce. We knew that's where we had been struggling, and we were going to have to answer the bell there. And for the most part, I thought we did a pretty good job there. And they do some unique things that are hard to guard. And so we had to be locked in. But I tell you what, I mean, for 35 minutes, I thought we were a locked in bunch. And, there's human tendency there to get that big of a margin. I think it's over. But give them credit for continuing to fight.
Jordan got hot there early on, and it seemed to open up the rest of his game where he'd get to the line, and, that seemed to be a thing for your whole team tonight. That's something that, you haven't had every game in and game out, but that was obviously a big factor tonight.
Yeah, I thought, as much as people have been testing us on the bounce, I thought tonight was a big game. I told our team, I said, this is a downhill game. This is going to be a downhill game. And whoever can get downhill and play the best in the paint, I think that's who's going to win this game. And, for us to get 19 assists and to only have 11 turnovers and 7 of those being Noah, so the rest of the team only having 4, the 19 assists, I think, there's a balance there. You have to attack. They really do a good job flowing. They really bring multiple defenders on penetration. They got us a couple times early. They were raiding those gaps. And so as long as we were going to drive and play on 2 and find the next, that's why you saw tonight. I mean, how many of those cuts did we get on the baseline? Trey got that beautiful cut right there and got that dunk. And Alex had that backdoor cut. I thought we had some good cuts off of our drives because when they're going to put that much attention to the drive, as long as you don't try to overdo it, which we did a few times, but as long as we play connected and we're working to get each other shots, you can really take advantage of that. And I thought for the most part we did that. But, yeah, I mean, we've got some guys that can put it on the deck. We just got to be attack ready on the catch. And I thought early in the game we had a couple catches where we weren't decisive, right? And for us, we like to play what we call 0 seconds basketball. And you got basically 0 seconds to make that decision. We want that decision made before the catch. And so attack that ball with your feet and make a decision. Are you going to shoot it? You're going to drive it? You're going to shot stop it? And let's play. And then when we get in the paint, look, we're going to beat 1. We're not going to try to beat 2. Let's find the next guy. And I thought to get 19 assists versus a team like that and a defense like that, I thought it was a credit to that. Being aggressive, right, but making sure that we're being aggressive for each other.
What have you learned or seen about this team to this point that gives you a lot of confidence as you start now taking on the rest of the way?
I'll tell you what, I mean, you sit out there and watch it for spurts, and it's lights out. I mean, the ceiling on this group, and when we're locked in and we're connected and we're flying around and we're moving that ball, it's fun. As a coach, you're just sitting there watching, you're like, man, this is a thing of beauty. And I think there's some things that we've got to continue to tighten up to just get to that level of consistency that we're going to need night in, night out. And making sure this is an emotional, energetic group, right? And we've got to make sure that we're doing that on a daily basis and that we're feeding off each other. I thought Jalen Slauson brought some energy tonight. I thought, obviously, Trey Clark brought some energy tonight. Those guys, Noah Gurley brings a ton of energy. Jordan, when he starts doing what he's doing, we've got some guys that are really magnetic, and they start feeding off each other, and it's just fun. And so we've just got to continue to iron out those patches, right, where there's attention to details that are dropping. And it's usually when we have a lead, when we have a margin, and then all of a sudden we're making a miss, but we're missing a box out, right? Or we're having a silly turnover, or doing something that's just not really characteristic of what we need to do because we get a little bit comfortable. And I've said this, I think when you have 4 of your top 8 being sophomores, I think some of that stuff you got to continue to iron out. But we've played 13 games in about a 6-week span. And I was looking at it yesterday. Our next 13 will be in a 9-week span. And I think this team needs that. I think we need some practice time. And we're about to have, good grief, we get a 6-day break. I feel like I'm about to go on vacation. And so we're going to have some time to breathe and practice and get better at some things. And then we're going to go home for Christmas, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to have some more time to practice. So, I love what we've done. I don't think there's a lot of people that had us 10-3 at this point with the schedule that we have. But, you call this crazy coach, whatever you want to call it, I still think there's more. And we're really good, and we've got a chance to be phenomenal, and we've got a chance to go do whatever we want to do. and win whatever games we want to win. We've just got to sell out to having that competitive consistency on the defensive end for 40 minutes, and we're getting there. Tonight, I thought we showed progress there.
And keeping with the theme of defense, Josh Ferguson, one of the best players in mid-major basketball. I noticed you held him to 11 points with the bigger stat, I think, you had 0 assists, and so you weren't letting him pass out and find those three-point shooters. Talk about what you did defensively against him and maybe an individual that stood out to you in guarding him.
You know, it's for me. You're not going to hear me talk a ton about individual defenders just because of how we play. It really involves everybody, and you know, we had to do it. It wasn't a super complicated game plan. We had to make sure it all started in transition. The more we watched them, the more they got early free looks from the perimeter and from the post in transition. And so, I mean, they'll come down and Burns will just run down there and they'll just throw it to him right in transition. And so we had to make sure we stayed high on the floor on him, and then we had to limit early threes. And then half court, we knew they were going to run action, but most importantly, they were going to test us off the bounce. We had to make sure we kept it out of the post, kept it out of the paint via penetration, and then we had to finish on the glass. And we had to all do that together. And so, you know, the job we did on Burns was outstanding. I'm not sure we could have done much better. We turned him over 4 times in 11 minutes. We held him to 2 rebounds and 2 points. And so the job we did there was critical because obviously top 100 player, you know, guy that played at Tennessee, and, you know, his size we knew, and he's a heck of a passer. I mean, he made some passes on film I haven't seen a big make since Rafferty. And then they've got a very interesting player in Valdron. I mean, he's 6'6", 6'7", like a point forward type guy, and he gets in the paint, and then he just makes plays. And tonight, the whole key was just eye discipline. You had to be able to see ball and man simultaneously, and you had to know when the ball needed help and when they were looking for shooters. And they do a good job cutting the corners as well. But I thought for the most part, I don't think we gave up any cornerback cuts from what I recall. And I thought our eye discipline was pretty good in those gaps for the most part. It was good enough, you know, to get the margin where it was.
All right, those were the comments of head coach Bob Richey following the 80-73 win over Winthrop on Saturday night downtown at Bon Secours Wellness Arena. When we come back, we'll have a quick segment to close it out and give you a little bit of an idea of what is coming up next as far as the show goes and moving forward from there. Dan Scott Show returns in just a moment.
Hey, everybody, Dan Scott. You know, I've been telling you for some time now that I switched to protection of my home and family to Security Complete. I can tell you that I've been ecstatic with the results. Locally owned with more than 40 years experience in the industry, Security Complete uses nothing but the latest technology, which equals low overhead, which equals greater savings to the customer. Fully automated systems with monitoring rates much lower than the competition. Security Complete gives you all this and does not require a contract of any length. Find out more by calling 864-546-0630 or find them on Facebook and Twitter. Security Complete, my first line of defense. Make them yours today.
We're all trying to find our way, forge a path, blaze a trail. The work is hard and the work is personal, but you can't do it alone. At Furman, we're committed to giving you an advantage, the Furman Advantage. We know that graduates who are emotionally supported and who have deep learning experiences in college are 3 times as likely to be engaged at work and thriving in life. At Furman, all students are guaranteed 4 years of rigorous classroom education integrated with high-impact research, internships, study away, and a community of support every step of the way. This is the Furman Advantage.
Is your roof leaking or damaged? Do your gutters need repaired? You can Google roofing companies until your computer overheats, or you can simply call the best, Bracken Roofing and Gutter. Whether it's roof replacement, new and remodel installation, roofing insurance claims, whatever your needs, Bracken Roofing and Gutter will simply do it right the first time. And the same goes for gutter screen installations. Forget about balancing on ladders and cleaning your gutters. Let Bracken Roofing and Gutter screen them for you today. Listen, do not settle for subpar work. Get a free inspection today. Check out their reviews on Facebook. You'll see many satisfied customers, and they're all saying the same thing. that they're happy that they chose Bracken Roofing and Gutter. That's Bracken Roofing and Gutter. Call Kyle today at 864-704-5993. Smack the microphone, why don't you? Welcome back. Final segment of the show. I'm going to wrap it up a little bit early, and will not be here on Wednesday. Just give you a heads up on that. I'll be taking care of my wife, who's having another eye surgery. So just keep her in your prayers as we go through that. Should be back on Friday, and that will probably be the last of the regularly scheduled shows until we get through the break. We may come back and do a single show sometime between Christmas and New Year's just to kind of catch up on some things if events warrant. But the Friday show will be the last regular scheduled show because in large part campus is going to be shut down, and a lot of people are going to be doing what I hope you're going to be able to do as well, and that's spend time with your family on this Christmas holiday. Friday is also the day that Furman basketball returns to action on the road at Mercer Friday night against the Bears, and the broadcast will begin at 6:30 with the pregame show. Bryant Lambert, Tom Van Hoy will have that call for you, and a 7 o'clock tip down in Macon, Georgia. And you'll hear all that on the Van Wagner Furman Basketball Radio Network and TuneIn Radio, FurmanPaladins.com, all of our usual outlets. So keeping all that in mind, we look forward to talking to you again on Friday, and then we'll give you a little bit more of a definitive idea of what's going to happen after that. But that'll probably be the last regularly scheduled show that we'll do between now and the resumption of business as usual after the first of the year. So just keep all that in mind. We will be continuing to be active on social media and dropping in bits and pieces when necessary. But hey, the basketball program even has a stretch of time off. They play on Friday the 20th and don't play again until New Year's Day. So everybody has a bit of a break coming up here. Have a fantastic rest of your Monday, please. Thank you for joining us here today. Go out and make a positive difference in somebody else's life. And we'll talk to you again here on Friday, as we mentioned just a moment ago. Until then, I'm Dan Scott saying God bless you, and so long, everybody.